A 2-week intensive program. We handpick the bands. We put them together by age and ability. So each band is put together by me and the owner, Donna Hall, and they rehearse for 4 hours a day. And it's one-on-one with them and a coach. They get a lunch break, and that's it.
This is like Dancing with the Stars here.
It's intense. Yep. So at the end of the first week, we do like a run-through performance in our own venue space, which is upstairs at the music school. We have our own venue space called The Den. So we do our first performance there. It's kind of just like a run-through for them. But then at the end of the second week, what they get to do is they get to perform at a local premier venue, which we're very excited this year is the Falcon in Marlboro.
I know. I'm looking at these venues. You're not fooling around.
We're not. We get our kids to play the best places.
Yeah, really. Do you want to mention it or you want to keep that a surprise?
Well, this year we're at the Falcon. We've also done shows at the Chance. We've done Orange County Choppers. We've done, local community events like General Montgomery Day. We keep the kids out and active, but Rock Camp specifically this year is at the Falcon in Marlboro.
It's great to learn everything, and Rock Camp is important, but it is so important to perform live.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know. Is it one of the most important things? Because you learn a lot of stuff when you perform live.
I think so. And the pressures of being in front of an audience definitely test what you've been learning in your lessons. We get a lot of people in that they just want to play because they want to play, and that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. But we definitely encourage them to play with other people and in front of audiences as soon as they're comfortable, because it's a whole nother world. It's kind of a missing piece if you don't do that. And it's really wonderful once you get involved.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I've been very vocal on the show about talent competition shows where I don't think it's fair to compare two different people and their talent. It just makes no sense to me. It's discouraging for some people. Mm-hmm. Some people can't take it. And, I've often said that Clive Davis used to give all these people recording contracts, but you know what? You got to pay your dues, and live is the only way to do that.
I definitely would agree that it's good to kind of work your way up the ladder. I think that if you get to shoot too high, too fast, that you miss some of the growing experience as a musician. Competitions are a double-edged sword. I think that healthy competition against yourself can be great for your growth as a musician.
Against yourself.
Pitting musicians against each other. I could take it or leave it. I think it's fun for TV, but I don't know entirely how I feel about it as far as growing as a musician.
Well, and that was very, very important what you just said, growing as a musician, because if you have like Steve Van Zandt and somebody else playing, though they're already musicians, they're already established,
Right.
and but when you're growing, you really need to have confidence in yourself to take those chances.
And everyone has their own unique gifts too. Mm-hmm. So there's no cookie cutter curriculum to judge them by. Everybody has their own unique thing.
How old do you have to be to go to Rock Camp? Is there an age requirement?
The age range for Rock Camp is technically 8 to 19. Mm-hmm. It's rare that we are able to actually take someone as young as 8. We basically reserve 8, 9, and 10 for very advanced students. And again, we hand select the bands, so we make sure that everybody's in an appropriate age group and is playing with people at the right level. And that's a very tricky process, and we take it very seriously.
Wow, you guys, I wish you were around when I was doing music, because
Me too.
That's really important, So registration is open for Rock Camp. How would somebody register?
So the best thing to do is to either jump on the website, nyschoolofmusiconline.com, and email us. You can just get in touch that way if digital is your thing. Or you can call us. Our main line is area code 845-778-7594. And you'll get the main line at the school. Me or Donna are usually the ones to pick up. Mm-hmm. And you can schedule a time to come in. If you've done Rock Camp before, or if you're a current NISM student, we can talk to your instructor about your level and where you're at and get you placed in a band. If you've never been involved with us before, we do require an audition, not necessarily like a make or break whether you get in, but just so we know what kind of player you are, so we know how to place you.
Sure.
So, and then you would just fill out like a paper registration, and we would take a listen, and we would go from there. So,
it's great to sit in your bedroom and it's great to play alone, but really you need to play with other musicians, not only from the things that you learn from them, but just learning how to work in a group. Believe me, that is one of the hardest things, is learning how to play and get along with everybody else in the group, especially musicians and creative types, That's
a great platform to learn that that type of stuff, though, because the kids get an opportunity where they're working on a creative thing, which is really fun. And we really see, even just in the 2 weeks, we see a maturity level jump where they get to develop those skills where they're working with other people and they're working on a creative project with other people, oftentimes other kids that they've never met before. It's a really cool thing to watch.
Now, what is your background in music?
So I've been playing music since I was very little. I'm a classically trained cellist. I went to Syracuse University for a performance degree. Best decision I made, though, was while I was there, I also got a business degree. So I've been very industry heavy. I like to perform, but I also like to be behind the scenes. Straight out of college, actually, Tony Falco hired me as a manager for the Falcon. That's where I met my husband, Tim. And then from there, I moved over to New York School of Music, and I was managing there. And save for other couple gigs, that's basically what I've been doing since. And so I've gotten to do some really big gigs. My biggest gig was playing in the regional hired orchestra for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra tours.
Wow.
That was really fun. So I got to experience the big music industry.
Did you get to flip your hair around
over
in the fog?
Hair everywhere. Yes, the fog, the flames. Yes, it got hot up there. It was a great gig, but it was such a cool glimpse into the larger music industry too, and just even more so than I knew that's where I wanted to be long term. And I did recording gigs all through my high school years. I grew up near the Woodstock area. There was a lot of studios that needed cellists just for backing tracks and things like that. I used to get asked to play out with Betty McDonald and Mark Black and his band and those guys. And so I had a really nice support system growing up there. So I've been doing everything I can get my hands on musically for a long time now.
It's important to think of music, if you're going to remain in the industry, as a business, because it's so easy to get taken advantage of. And we were just kind of talking off mic about, very quickly, sometimes when you're a musician and you get a gig, sometimes you look out and you know what? You can count how many people are out there on two hands.
And you play the show anyway, and you bring it. That's actually part of the bigger message we're really working on at the school right now, is changing tomorrow's music industry by changing how we train musicians today. That's our new mission statement, and we are trying to work it into the standard way of training musicians that you're also training a business person. So if they want to take it there, they can. They have those
you really
tools.
have to. I mean, sometimes we were talking about the gigs we've done playing for the door, and when only 5 people show up, well, you pretty much know that you're all going home with $1.
Yep. But you learn something from those gigs, know,
Exactly.
and you bring it every time, no matter what, because you're a professional and you're out there to bring your product.
Again, you said the magic word, professional. If you're going to get up there to perform, it doesn't matter if there's 5 or 500. You got to do the same show.
Absolutely.
But it's interesting. Long story short, I performed in Chile for 10,000 people. But you know what? I realized I did the same performance for 10,000. You're a little more excited maybe, but it's the same performance for 10,000 people as it is for 100 people. But what you get back was like, it blew me off the stage.
Right.
So, you always have to do a great show. It doesn't matter how many people are there.
I agree.
Because you never know who's listening, and you never know who's going to call you up for a gig.
One of those 5 people could be a record exec. You don't know.
Exactly. Or somebody with a catering hall. Either way.
Yep. Anything.
It all works. So what would you like our listeners to take away from the rock camp? Because we want people to learn. We want to spread the gift. We want to spread that.
Yes. Well, I think that the Hudson Valley is a really amazing area for young people. There are so many things to do. It's actually overwhelming sometimes how many opportunities they have. I think that what I'd like your listeners to know is that rock camp is a unique opportunity. They get to be creative. They get to build self-confidence. They get to mature. They turn into little adults while they're there, and they become more like professionals. And the staff, I cannot say enough positive things about our staff. So the role models they get to spend those 2 weeks with is absolutely fantastic. The friendships that come out of it. A lot of times we have rock camp bands that stay formed after rock camp. They start gigging, And I just think that, the parents are blessed with a lot of opportunities in the Hudson Valley, but I would definitely encourage them to give rock camp a try if they have a student, if they have a child that is at that level and thinks it might be something they want to do. It's a 2-week program, and you will not regret it.
Okay. Do you make people Do you make people do hollow chimp noises? Do you do that
What?
for vocals?
Not at rock camp. Some of our vocal teachers do have really interesting warm-ups, but I can't blame them because they work. All right, they work.
If you ever walk past a room where people are doing their vocal warm-ups, you're like, what is that?
Yep. And I feel for the vocal students that know we can hear them and they're doing it anyway and they're progressing and they sound fantastic. So I will not knock the warm-ups.
But you have to. Because
it
really opens you up. Because the reason I even said that was I'm looking here at the list and it says one of the things that you learn when you do your vocals is to sing from your diaphragm. Mm-hmm. And that is, when you learn an instrument, that's one thing. But when your body is the instrument,
yes.
It's one. I don't know. When I try to explain this to people to breathe from their diaphragm, to push it out, they're like, well, wait a minute, but it's isn't that weird to breathe that way? Yes, it is, but it really helps you. That's where you get all your breath and your power and all that kind
Absolutely.
of stuff. So these are little things that maybe, you might be trying to struggle out a couple of notes.
Right.
It's not that you're a bad singer.
No.
It's because you're not singing correctly.
Right. And we get a lot of students that, thanks to online resources, especially YouTube and all that, have gotten through the first few steps and then they hit a limit. Mm-hmm. And that's where we come in, where that second set of eyes to say what's going on with your posture, what's going on with your technique that's blocking you from getting where you want to go. And that's how we structure all the lessons. You tell us where you want to be, and we'll give you the tools to get there. That's very much our philosophy when it comes to the private lessons.
What's the age limit again? Because I'm thinking I might want to sign up.
Well, for lessons, there is no age limit.
Oh, good to know.
Yep.
So there are no lessons for age limits.
Yeah.
No age limits.
Right. Yeah. I personally have had students everywhere from, I just did a piano lesson with a student who is 6. She was very excited. Mm-hmm. And I've had, retired mechanics come in. They want to play bluegrass fiddle, everything, and anything you want to do, any age, we're ready for you as far as the lessons.
Well, when I was a kid, I don't know why I chose this. I chose accordion. We don't want to talk about it.
I think that's great.
But now I want to take that and play Cajun accordion.
Yes.
That's what I want to do. That is happy music. That is like everybody start moving. So that's what I'm trying to get myself into now is learning that. And basically it's not even notes. It's more like the rhythm of that, what you got to do for that stuff. So these are the kind of things that you can learn also at rock camp or that you could learn by taking lessons. I mean, honestly, and I'm not doing this to kiss up to you guys, but they really know what they're talking about. I mean, being a musician myself, there are just certain things that you have to learn. And why do it for 10 years on your own to come to the same conclusion that you could learn from somebody who's been there and knows what they're talking about? So just tell us your Facebook page, your website, how people can get in touch with you, all that great stuff, because you guys have the right attitude and you're really professional and you know what you're talking about.
You.
And it's been a pleasure to talk to you. But please let people know how they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. Well, there is, again, the website, I'll just repeat real quick, is nyschoolofmusiconline.com. And the Facebook, if you just search New York School of Music, comes right up. We have an Instagram too, lots of photos of shows and things like that going on. And the phone number is 845-778-7594. And my name is Rosie. I'm there almost all the time, and I'm really excited to meet new people. The coolest thing is just to stop by, because we really find that the best way for prospective students to see what we're about and what we're doing is to come on in. We have an 11,000 square foot building, 16 professional classrooms, big lobby area with a waiting area and retail for the stuff you need. We have our own venue space upstairs. We want you to see the whole thing, and we think once you do, you'll be really excited to get started.
I'm excited, and I wish I could go.
I think one of our guitar instructors plays accordion too. I could double check on that for you.
See, she is such a businesswoman. Thanks so much, Rosie. And if you guys do you have the love of music in your heart? Do you want to learn how to play? You don't think you're good? You need somebody to help you out? This is the place to go. They are really wonderful. They have the right energy, and don't waste your time trying to learn things that somebody could really. Because sometimes you need just that little tweak and fix, so that somebody can see something that you can't. And again, it comes back to the love of music, and it's a wonderful community. Once you're in the musical community, there's a lot of friendship there, a lot of camaraderie, and that's something important when you try to get and start playing, you know what? You're going to need that. So definitely you support each other, and that's the perfect condition.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, Rosie.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Welcome back anytime.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.